僕も
俺も
あんな風になりたい。
弓道部に戻って弓を引いてあのつるねからつながってるような気がする。
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
Today we're doing the Tsurune movie called The First Shot.
Yes, I'm so excited because we've already covered the first 2 seasons of this fun anime. And so now it's time to cover the first movie, which we didn't expect to have. It mostly recaps the main part of Season 1 with many new scenes added to it in preparation for Season 2, The Linking Shot. And yes, there are more scenes of Seiya being upset with Masaki, in case you're wondering.
Yes. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notification on future podcasts and Pause videos.
Absolutely. This is just another perfect work of this franchise. The movie is beautiful to look at, just like the anime is. And you can see the improvement in this movie from Season 1 before they got to Season 2 and just blew it out of the water. I mean, but you can see they already were preparing to make the animation look even more beautiful, have more special effects.
That's right.
Than they did in Season 1.
Because this took place actually before Season 2. It's more of an in-between movie, kind of like how MHA and MLP have done, where they have a movie take place in between seasons, leading you into the next one after you finish. And we said this one is sort of a recap movie, but it's not like with some other films where they just kind of replay the same scenes from Season 1, and it's just the episodes put together and spit out as a movie. They actually still make it flow like it's still one story, and then add some extra scenes that were not in the show itself. So it kind of ends up recapping and showing how they are doing before it gets to Season 2, because when you get to after the end credits of the film, they show the next team coming in they'll be competing with in the next season.
Now this actually came out in 2022, released in Japanese theaters, and it made 125 million yen or 955,000 US dollars at the box office. Here's where the money's being made though. They had pre-orders and they sold out. The pre-orders just went through the roof. Lots of information on it on Twitter X or Twix.
Yeah.
And it's just really a beloved franchise. Go online if you're not familiar with it. Type in Tsurune, Tsurune. I think it's pronounced actually the Tsurune.
Tsurune.
And you will find that there's just a lot of people that love it, and rightly so. As Rascal said, it's an animated compilation of parts that happened in the first season, and the way that well, also want to tell you, written by Kodako Ayano. Forgot to mention that. He wrote the light novel. This person, I'm sorry, I don't know their gender, wrote the light novel as well as the manga. The way this movie is done, it's so beautifully done that even if you don't watch Season 1 or ever Season 2, the movie is so perfectly done. This works well. It's just an anime movie.
Yeah.
It works like this is it. It's perfectly done from beginning to end. You aren't left wondering about anything if you've never seen the series. It perfectly captures Season 1, adding those other segments with some questions being answered. And as you said, in case you are interested, giving you a teaser for Season 2. This is just a beautifully done movie. It's one of the best ones we've seen, regardless of the genre. It's just a beautiful, fun, interesting, intensive movie.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just as entertaining as if you would watch the TV show. Yeah, it speeds up the story a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's going so fast where you're missing a lot of information and it's just being choppy and going from place to place to place to place and being like a clip show. They really did avoid doing that, and it's rare as you see any movie from any country doing that when they're doing a project like this. All the voice actors in Japanese return for the voices for the new scenes, and I think they had a different song playing for the film since they had one song in the first season, a new song in Season 2. And you also get a little bit of a, what they call a cold opening, where you actually end up with a flashback seeing how Minato and Masaki actually did meet at one point when he was much younger and Masaki was a little younger.
And the great thing about this is you have all the characters that are in season 1, and you have all the Japanese voice actors return. There is, at this point, there is no dub. Now, the movie may have the dub. I'm not sure. If you know, let us know in the comments below. But if you're watching on places like High Dive and Anime Network, they're only showing the sub.
Right.
But here's the thing. The voice casts for both the sub and the dub are excellent. You hear one, you're hearing the other. They have chosen the English voice actors to perfectly match up with the Japanese voice actors. And you're not missing anything regardless of which one you decide to watch. It's enjoyable and perfect either way. And we did say this once before, it's one of the rare anime where the voice acting cast are perfect regardless whether it's English or Japanese. MHA is another one that has that same beauty where it's fantastic regardless of whether you hear it subbed or dubbed. You don't lose anything in the translation or in hearing the performances, and this movie is the same way.
Right. And the additional scenes they put in work really well. It's like little extra bits you didn't see in the anime. And there wasn't like, oh, you missed out if you didn't watch after the credits, because there really wasn't any bonus scenes after the credits like you're watching MCU. Once the episode was over, after the credits, that was it. There was nothing else. So this is actually great to see like little extra bits in there that led into the decisions and things in other episodes. With some more interesting and some more hilarious.
So critical response is really good. The Japanese review and survey film marks placed Tsurune, the movie, the first shot, 4th in their first day satisfaction ranking with an average rating of 4.02 out of 5. And the program Film Week described it as charming, and it is, and praised the filmmakers for not making it just another underdog sports tale, but should be about the psychological and even spiritual growth of the characters. I think that perfectly describes this movie and the series. Never thought of describing it that way, but that perfectly describes it. So if you like the type of anime that has character growth, entertainment, that you can relate to characters, whether it's, you know, from your younger years or teen years or now, where there's a character for everyone to love, where the characters are likable, even the crazy ones.
Right.
The characters are likable, where you don't have any dire situations and deaths and violence. If you're just looking for something that, yes, it's slice of life, but is an enjoyable slice of life anime that depicts characters you would love to meet in real life and love, this is it. It's just fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. And all the comedy that they put in here still stay intact, and there's lots of stuff that what's his name, Seiya says, and it's like they knew that this was part of the character arc anyway, so you're gonna see it again. But if you want some of that hilarious drama with Seiya, well, you get it again in here. And this guy is like everything.
We'll explain it just quickly so you know. Seiya Takehawa is the friend of Minato Naramiya, who is the main character, and Seiya has been crushing on him for 12 years, I think.
Yes, as they were kids.
He finally reveals to him how he feels, and he accepts his feelings. Problem for Seiya is Masaki Takagawa ends up being a person that Minato encounters when he sees him practicing Kyoto. And he wants to learn from him. And then he ends up coming and being their coach. And when Seiya sees him, he's okay at first. He's like, okay, thank you, master. And he's real respectful. And then he starts being more of a coach, more authoritative, and he starts disliking him. And then when he finds out Minato is spending more time with him in training, then he just starts going crazy. And he tells him literally, I hate you.
Yeah.
And he tells him more than one time that he hates him. If the first time he tells Master-san, you can tell he's broken. And then after that, he's like, okay.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Right?
This kid's telling me that he hates me. Oh well. But as you said, part of the humor is his reactions, not only to Masaki, but anybody that comes around Minato.
Pretty
He's
much.
got some major attitude,
Right,
and
it's
he's
like-
got some things to say all the time.
Right, and it's like, do you ever like not say something? They even kind of point out at certain points, and they get to a point where it's like, you gotta stop being so, possessive, because it's
Not gonna happen.
with everybody. Because yeah, when it gets to season 2, it's clear that he hates him, and even when everything's resolved, he's telling him, well, one thing's for sure, I still hate you. It's
my
like,
God.
yeah, so, and he told him no matter what he does, no matter how good he gets, he will never stop hating him for being alone with him, and that sticks all the way to season 2. He hates this man.
And Masaki is very good and a very good person because he just blows it off and keeps going. But if you want to see this drama, which is, yes, in this slice of life anime, give this a watch. If you've seen it already, the movie, let us know in the comments below. Do you love it as much as we do? And if you haven't seen it, it's available on Anime Network as well as High Dive, and it's available to purchase now on Amazon. It was pre-ordered, I think, 6 weeks ago, and I think it's available now. So if you want to own this movie or even the first and second seasons as well as the movie, they're all available on Amazon to purchase at actually reasonable and great prices. And yes, I will be purchasing this entire first, second, and season and movie because I really love it that much.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates with the videos for your anime series, animation, and all things animation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you so much. Watch Tsurune. Watch it. Please. Love it.
Right. Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainments.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.